Welcome everyone to this video as part of the Christchurch Youth Team video conference. My topic is parish renewal. What is it to be part of a vibrant parish? And my name is Father John Adams. Lovely to be with you. So we've got this first pillar, if you like, this first of the four, I keep holding up five fingers, sorry about that, the first of the four markers of a vibrant or a lively or a life-giving parish. Here's number two. I'll use my thumb this time. Here's number two, and that is that in a vibrant parish, Sunday is a good experience. I think we all know that. To walk into a parish on a Sunday morning, there seems to be a life, there seems to be a sense of organisation, there seems to be a sense of purpose, there seems to be a sense of joy about that parish. What leads to that? Well, firstly, a good deal of hard work, by the way. People are prepared to stand back and look at that Sunday experience and be honest about perhaps where things are going well and where they're not. I think two factors really determine the success, if you like, of a Sunday morning in parish life. That is good preaching and quality music. I think that's the case. Good preaching, well, what can be done about that? Or perhaps not too much, unless you happen to be a priest or a deacon yourself. But I think young people can certainly encourage their parish priests. They might tactfully give some feedback. I think parish priests need to be encouraged to take time. My personal view is the time should be spent in perhaps recording thoughts in an orderly way. So when it comes time for the homily to be presented, not that it needs to be read, but I think if there's a sense of order and purpose about it, sort of an inner coherency, I think that really helps people as they're listening. I also think this, someone told me this once, what's one thing worse than a boring homily? That's a long, boring homily. So I think a well-organised preacher also is able to get their message across in good time. Look, music. Wow, where do we start? I was very careful when I chose my words at the beginning about music because I think young people, of course, have an appetite for contemporary music, of course, and that's they're young, and that's what contemporary is. And there's some marvelous contemporary music out there. But I also notice, particularly of late, young people are also discovering the vast richness of the church's treasury of music. I know young people who are absolutely fascinated, and in fact, are falling for the beautiful discipline of Gregorian chant. Why not? There's something very, very beautiful and timeless and a deepening that occurs when we hear music of great beauty, perhaps from the ancient traditions of the church. So what I think we should be aiming for is contemporary, yes, but not always, but quality. And if you're a young person, how about putting your musical skills, your musical sensibilities at the disposal of the parish? One thing I think we need to get better at, and that is sending young people away to be formed as church musicians. We need to put some time and some money and some planning into that. So let's face it, if you arrive at a parish and there's good, clear, well-prepared preaching, and if there's music of high quality, I think that's going to do a lot to improve the Sunday experience. Other things are important too, of course. What about the strength of the welcome? I heard some speakers talking once about they visited some other parishes to gain some tips. They said the welcome was so good in one parish, they went out the door and came back in again just to experience the warmth of the welcome. I think that's true. It makes a big difference. Of course, people will always say, Father John, I came to your parish and no one said hello to me. So I think a parish that's vigilant and on the lookout for visitors and takes time to engage with them, I think they are going to be a successful parish. I also say this too, on Sunday. It's a pretty busy old world out there. There's lots of things happening. There's lots of activity. How about a Sunday Mass also offering times of silence? Times then when we can sort of relax and engage somewhat more deeply in the spiritual aspects of what we're experiencing. For me, that's a good sign. Constant noise throughout the liturgy, well, it's tiresome, and perhaps we might as well be somewhere else. I don't think liturgy should be chasing the world. I think really good liturgy, a really good experience of Sunday Mass, is a place of refuge, if you like, from that busy world that's a bit addicted to activism, a world that's, as Pope Francis would say, worships, observable results. Let's have an experience on Sunday which has a sense of interiority about it. So there we are. Some good preaching, some good quality music, a strong welcome, engagement with visitors, and I think something otherworldly. I think they are the ingredients for a good Sunday experience. Well, look, here's the third aspect that research shows will lead to a parish which is undergoing renewal, a parish which is vibrant, a parish which is has some life and some deep Catholicity about it. And that's a parish that has an outward missional focus, if you like. Because here's a beautiful paradox, and it works for us as individuals and it works for parishes. It's only when we give ourselves away that we discover who we truly are. And that's the same for a parish. A parish which is less concerned about maintaining aspects of its life, but more concerned about preaching the gospel, there's a parish which I think will be renewed by its outward focus. It's a great paradox, but I think it's true. Think about your local parish. People a block away from your church. What do they know about the Catholic parish, which is just round the corner? I'm guessing next to nothing. What outreach has gone just to those in the nearest geographical locations? When's the last time your parish put on an event which is welcoming of those who have no faith, which is welcoming of those in the community who may well be somewhat curious about Roman Catholicism? Look, here's another thing, and I've been privileged, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity, to take young people away on actual mission experiences. Whether it's been to little islands in the South Pacific, whether it's been to live in the slums of Manila, whether it's been to walk on the streets of Calcutta, they are transformative experiences, particularly for young people, but for any parishioner. I've taken many, many mission trips away, and they are life-changing. They, of course, require some sacrifice, some discomfort, but to preach the gospel to the genuinely poor, there's a beautiful chance for the renewal of faith. So, let's have parishes that are less concerned about maintaining their own routines and more prepared to go out and to preach the gospel to those who have never heard the good news. Okay, so we're on this journey. We have got three aspects now of what might transform and renew and make our parishes more vibrant. Remember, we started off with a shared sense of leadership. We want Sunday to be a good experience. We want our parishes to have a mission focus. And finally, and perhaps key to all of them, is that our parishes ought to be places where people are being renewed in their spiritual lives. If there's not a spiritual maturation going on in your parish, if you're not deepening your spiritual life, then the other things that we've discussed are somewhat empty and less likely, by the way, to resonate with others. I put it to you that, in fact, the Church's spiritual tradition is our greatest gift to the world. There's a spiritual genius in the Church. And that spiritual genius needs to see the light of day. So I think a parish that is being renewed is a parish which is allowing its parishioners to deepen their spiritual life. What might that look like? Well, look, and combining with the missional aspect, one of the things that we know works is this whole wonderful world of Alpha, where people come, they share a meal, they watch a very intuitive and hard-hitting and well-produced video, perhaps a bit unlike my one, by the way, and there's a chance to discuss these aspects of the spiritual life. The fact that coming to know Christ brings about a whole renewal in one's life. That coming to know Christ is transformational. That coming to know Christ will in fact introduce a certain joy and hope in your life, and you'll never look back. That's the truth of it. And I've got a marvellous heritage of spiritual geniuses, men and women, in our Catholic tradition, and they're still contemporary. Tell someone about Teresa of Avila. Tell someone about St. John of the Cross. Tell someone about St. Ignatius of Loyola. Tell someone about Therese of Lisieux. All those great teachers of the spiritual life, in my view, they should be accessible in parish life. I'm guessing that means inviting people in to give talks, seminars, having good literature, good spiritual reading available in parish libraries, encouraging people to in fact experience different methods of prayer. Just in our parish tonight, in fact, perhaps I should be over there, we're having a session on Lectio Divina, a beautiful spiritual technique in which people go to the scriptures and are nourished from there. I think if your parish is looking for renewal, if you're part of a parish which wants to become more vibrant, make sure there's opportunities, and they should be reasonably constant throughout the year, for people to engage in the spiritual life. But look, there's a very clear and easy remedy, if you like. How about adoration of the Blessed Sacrament? How about the Blessed Sacrament is exposed for the hour before every weekday Mass? How about times of adoration on Sundays afternoons? How about encouraging people to make use, if you're here in Christchurch, of our Perpetual Adoration Chapel? There's a marvellous opportunity to allow God to love us. What a beautiful definition of prayer, by the way. Prayer is when we allow God to love us. Look, I'm going to finish now with just a couple of general thoughts, particularly for young people here in New Zealand, those of perhaps of you involved with youth ministry. There's been something going on in this country for a long time now, and it does bring about conversion in the life of young people. It's called Hearts Aflame. Okay, I'm a bit biased because I'm the chaplain there, but really, if you want to experience the church in all its beauty and all its fullness, if you want to experience a renewal in your spiritual life, if you want to experience liturgy right from perhaps the most careful and reverent to the beautiful gifts of praise and worship, Hearts Aflame is for you. 10-day summer school. I'd look it up if you're looking for a bit of personal renewal before you go out and take that to your parish. One final little gift to you, if you like. It's not from me. It's from Pope Francis, who, let's face it, he can write with astounding beauty and insight. I want to read to you, I think, one of the best pieces of advice, if you like, for personal renewal and, of course, for parish renewal. Let me read it out. It's from Christus Vivit, and it's paragraph 143, and you might know these words already. I hope you might enjoy hearing them again if that's the case. Dear young people, make the most of these years of your youth. Don't observe life from a balcony. Don't confuse happiness with an armchair, or live your life behind a screen. Whatever you do, do not become the sorry sight of an abandoned car. Don't be parked cars, but dream freely and make good decisions. Take risks, even if it means making mistakes. Wonderful advice here from Pope Francis. So, thank you again for this chance to speak to you a little about our parish renewal, perhaps a bit of a vision for the future. And I look forward to perhaps your questions and feedback if that's the way this works. Can't remember. All the best. Goodbye now. God bless you.